Hi there, thanks for checking in on this chess channel and I appreciate it, and so welcome. I hope you enjoy today's games. Today's games are games. I have 4 games for you today. They're all a wee bit different from the other. The first game is a 5-minute game that my friend and I played on Lichess platform, and all the others are played on Lichess as well. And that is a hand and brain game, and I think I was the brain, or the hand I mean. I think I was the hand, I'm not sure. The second game, yes I was, and in the one before that, our opponent had beaten us, so the score is 2-1 in my sort of favour, although my friend might have helped there to get the score from 1-1 to 2-1. The second game is a bullet 1-minute game where both kings, this is on my own on Lichess, a 1-minute game. That's quite exciting because always when the players castle on the opposite side of the board, it always brings about some exciting play. That's my opinion. The third game, get this, I'm actually blindfolded, okay, and that's a 5-minute game, so my friend was assisting me with that. And the fourth game is the swindle of the year, and that's not my swindle of the year, that's my friend who was here on Monday night, Tuesday morning, and who performed the swindle. It has, like any other swindle, an opportunity to lose, but our opponent or his opponent in the hand and brain game that we played resigned or blundered or whatever, blundered and then resigned, and that's the fourth game. So here we go. Here are the games now that I will show you. In the background you will see the Canterbury chessboard, the Christchurch giant chess set, and this is, I believe, prior to our earthquakes of 2011 and February 22nd 2011. So, and these players I do know who are playing here. So that guy there, by the way, is a very, very good chess player. So is the guy sitting, and this guy is very good too. So anyway, here we go. So this is the first hand and brain 5-minute game, and as you would appreciate, the score is 2-1 to me, even though I have said that my friend helped me get that loss. Just joking, but I'm not sure what happened. So here we go, and I will flip the board now. And here we go, and if you want to, you can see the score on, what's the spectator room now? I'm not sure what that is now, but anyway, here you can see the score. Oh, okay, that means that people are watching, but they're not. Here you can see the score to the right of your screen. It's up to you whether you want to follow that or not. You might like to just try out some exercises here. So they might be quite elementary exercises actually. So this is 5-minute hand and brain. So I believe that I'm the player and my friend is the brain. Yes, he was. I can remember now. I think the prior one he was the player, or maybe not. So here 95, and if this is a bad mistake because of knight d3 check, queen d3, and fe4 where white is a pawn down. So there's a wee trick. So black is met with bishop e5. Bishop g5 and queen f2 and bishop a5. I think my friend said pawn, so I went a5. I didn't actually know what pawn to move here. Could play d5, I suppose. Could I? No, I could probably, just about. Castling. Bishop d7 and rook a e1 and rook e8. Now, this is, he said to me, rook. I go, I don't really want to move my rook. But he said rook, so I had to move a rook. And I said, I've only got 5 squares I can move a rook to. So I went rook e8. Here's e4, which is, what's wrong with e4? Before I actually show it to you again on the board, what's wrong with e4 move for white? And of course it's f4. And here black will win a piece, even though there are some tactics that I allowed here and my partner may have allowed as well. So here's f4, and then he went e5, and then my friend said pawn, and I thought, well, I'm going to take this pawn because it's just tidier. And then rook e8, he said bishop, not queen. Queen is not so good. Why? Why is queen not so good? Simple answer is if queen e8 here, then white can extract their bishop from being captured next move. So it's bishop e8, which is what he said, bishop. Rook e1, and then he said pawn, so I went yay, fg3. And now bishop h4, and the thing is that here, after queen h3, I think he said bishop, and he meant for me to take the rook, because there is no problem with this. There's no problem here, unless black plays silly. So sorry about that. That's what happens in videoing. So bishop d7, g4, bishop e1, queen h7, king f8, and there's no checkmate. Knight e2, queen h4, bishop h4, knight f4, bishop g5, knight g6, king e8, king f2, a4. Don't know why white went on so long there, especially the times aren't exactly bad for black. So that was that game. Then I have for you the bullet game that I played today. And I will flip the board again. It's very nice and hot in New Zealand, or in Christchurch, and I hear it smeltering in Dunedin. Anyway, here's this game. So my opponent is around about my rating for 1 minute, which I've been able to get up a little bit since our mutual brain and hand games on Monday evening. So here's e3. Wow, it's like they know what I'm going to play. Now this is white is playing the Nimzo Larsen opening, which is very, very good and easy to learn for white. And this bishop is a bit of a power bishop because it looks right down here, okay, right down the a1 to h8 diagonal. So often checkmates are very good and easy for white to get. So this bishop is annoying because we can't just move our bishop out here now. We can a little bit, but you know, we can actually do it, but it's not advisable. It just loses an exchange, as this is not a bishop that is defending the king for white if white castles that way. Even though, hang around, that's what happens. f5, f4, knight f6. No. Now this is now castling long. So I go c5 because that's what I like about castling on opposite sides, is you can do a pawn storm. h3 and knight c6, and I have always been entertained by that idea of a pawn storm. It always sounds really good to me. g4, d4, and knight e2. I'll say knight c2, knight e4, queen g2, a wee bit surprising, but white has ideas of queen and bishop on the long diagonal, queen takes pawn sort of thing, checkmate. At an opportune moment. Now I played king h8, and I'm not sure if that's good or anything. I'm not saying that this is a good game. I'm just saying that it's the one of the games I'm bringing you. Knight f3, bishop f6 to contest this long diagonal, and also it's protecting this d4 pawn. Okay, so bishop f6 is doing that duty, as well as contesting this a1 to h8 for diagonal until g5. And so here we've got bishop e7 and e4. So your move, if you're not looking at the score, what would you play now? What do you think is a good chance in this 1 minute game to play than the normal capture? Maybe queen a5, maybe b5, maybe a5, maybe knight b4, or something else. And so what occurred was that I played was c4, and here we have h4, knight b4, king b1, queen a5, quite basic sort of play. And this can threaten checkmate. It's a wee bit of a maneuver still though, but it can threaten checkmate. And I'm just thinking, if we do a dummy move, can we just do a dummy move? Okay, I'll just go I'm not doing that right, Dad. This is still quite attractive, but we've got knight problems here. I'm just having a bit of fun here. Please bear with me, because it's not very good to watch, is it? Bishop c3 or knight c3, and white seems to have got out of the woods somewhat and still has that bishop on b2. But anyway, I'm just trying to keep to what I'm saying. Is a3 now. And so here I chickened out and went knight d5. And of course, probably bc4 is possible here. But h5 comes about. So white's going a la the style of this situation of castling on opposite sides. Bishop a3 and h6 and g6. Now the bishop is, there is no bc4, why not? What's wrong with bc4? Is queen b4, and here queen b2 is going to happen next move. I think there's no checks or anything, is there? So, and that would be checkmate. Knight e5, bishop b2, and here we've got king b2, c3, but of course dc3 and knight dc3, knight c3, rook a1. Okay, now go queen b4 and queen f3. I'm not sure, that's not bad, is it? Because it threatens my knight. So I play knight e2, simplest. Bishop e2, queen d4 check, c3, probably not the best move. Queen d2, I think that here white's best move is maybe king a3. Although, how do I get my sort of pieces out here? How do I get my pieces activated? Maybe I just have to sacrifice my bishop and pawn. So here is c3 and queen d2, king a3. What would you play now? I've already said one of my ideas here. I think that white could probably play rook c1 actually, and rook hd1 or something. But it is black's move here. So after king a3 I went b5. And so here comes rook hd1. Ouch. So I just, do I just move to the side cush? No, I don't. I play b4 check. And king b4 and queen b2. And this is just threatening a big check on b8. But it's not, rook b8 here, check. So queen b2, and here's a rook d6. Now what? I go rook b8 and bishop b5 and a6 and rook a6, and here's my opponent with 0.9 seconds. Well done. And I've got 18.7. Bishop a6, rook a6, rook b5, and this is where my opponent lost on time. So that's that game. Then the third game is I am black, or this is yes, I'm black, and this is the blindfold game. Okay, and this is blindfold 5 minute. My opponent didn't know, but as I mentioned, maybe my opponent did know. But maybe my opponent's going to beat me anyway. So here we go. I'm blindfolded, I'm facing that wall over there, and my friend is moving the pieces and transmitting the moves to me what have been played by my opponent. So white's best here is either rook c2 or knight h3, and white I think, and white here chose knight h3. If bishop g3, then it's not very good, I think, because of knight takes g3, fg3, knight e3, and I think that feels quite comfortable for black, even though I'm blindfolded. Knight h3, and I played bishop h4, rook c2, and bishop d7. Here I missed the next move that I play next move, which impressed my friend rather, but it has taken me a wee while to get here because it's a little bit hard to hear sometimes, especially the move bishop f4 to e5, which sort of can confuse me a wee bit because I go, well, only one bishop can move to a dark square. So bishop d7, and here is what was the next move for? What did white play next? c4, that's right. And I was just trying to remember, and then I played knight e3, and here, as you can see, I've got 15.9 seconds left, so maybe not the best thing to play against a player of this caliber, a blindfold game, but it's almost like they knew. And here's where my friend took over the game because it was less than it's 15 seconds left. So here are, for interest's sakes, the rest of the moves. I think I played knight c2 first, and then he took over. a5. It's not quite the way I'd play it, but it's still played very well. Actually, I was here I'm thinking of this improvement here. I was talking to him before, but that loses a number of ways. Can you find the ways that this loses? Because I had complete vision of the board now. This loses because of bishop f8 check. And now black has to take their choice between two bad moves. Queen f8, and then just queen g5, and all of a sudden, as well as h8 check, all of a sudden queen g6 or so is threatened. Maybe even r8. Let's just show you this. h8 is queen check. Okay, so then only thing that can capture is this. Then we have queen g6. Don't have to worry about the king, the queen, and queen f7 is checkmate. So that's no good. Oh, sorry. Here we've got the. I don't want to show you the ending too much, but what I want to do is I've just seen another move here for black, and that is the other move I've got for black, which is probably better here, is something else. So can you find an improvement on our game, on our play, even though so can you find an improvement? Because I can. And it's not bishop g5, because bishop g5 just gets mated in a lot of places. The move I've got, which I think looks quite reasonable, is g5. This just blocks the queen out. Yeah? And, so I think that's a better move. Anyway, we only had 1.5 seconds here after queen d2. We played bishop d6, and it comes queen h6, and the game was over. We lost on time. Black timed out, white is victorious. And here, of course, the only move is this, is it? It is really. This one's no good because of knight g6 checkmate. Okay, now I'm going to bring you the swindle of this year. Okay, I'm going to bring you the swindle of this year. This is hand and brain game. Okay. And so this is hand and brain. We are white, so we do not have to flip the board unless you want to look at the winning side. Oh no, we won this. This is 5-minute hand and brain, okay? So I was the... What was I? Was I the hand or was I brain? I was the hand, I was the brain, and my friend Sam was the hand. Okay, so here we go. We were live on Lichess doing this, of course, and recording it. We recorded it and placed it on Facebook. So I was going queen, which forces him to go queen e2. He wasn't going to go queen e1. So everything is like I'm going pawn, and he's moving maybe the wrong pawn. I was wanting him to move a C or D pawn, a pawn, a bishop, and he moved that to E3 instead of G5. A pawn, and that's one move that I got what I wanted, which was A4, and I wanted a rook to FB1, so I wanted rook F to B1, but he played it to E1. G5, I went pawn. I think I might have intended G4, but it's not very nice, is it? So I went G4, but I wasn't wanting to play G4. But that's the whole thing about hand and brain chess. It's quite fun, but can be quite frustrating too, but I didn't get frustrated except for with my blindfold game. So rook d e8 and c3 h5. So I went bishop. I don't know what else to do. Bishop, queen, rook. Now there's big trouble happening here, isn't there, because of bishop h7 is a big threat. And here, white could be met with that straight away, actually. Actually, that's not bad. Rook e3. So this is missing this move here, okay, I think. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I was going to play this as well. I was just going to say rook here. And here is no good because of this. And so that's kind of quite not very nice for white. I think bishop g7 might be possible, but not really after this and this and this, where white's a piece down clearly. So anyway, that's just some of my... So I went knight, and I went bishop, and I went bishop. And he said, do you want to play bishop? Yep. I said bishop. And so, I mean, like, you just end up wanting to play your move. E5, bishop f5, and bishop h6. And what I like, and it is quite hot here in Christchurch, as mentioned before, but what I quite like is the coordination of these pieces of the bishop and knight, and soon the rook. But there are big problems with white's game here. White is losing. So I'd gone rook d1, e4, and here is where I think he took over, given that it's we're able to take over for one player, and I can still comment. So here's bishop f4, queen g7, bishop g3, and queen f7. Now this looks very, very hard for white. However, and my friend, I believe, was saying, oh, let's resign. I said, no, we're not going to resign. That was back there where, back on move 25 ef5, where black played f5. So I said, no, we're not going to resign. And so rook h1, queen f3, king g1, b6, rook h8, and rook h7. Now, rook h7, where am I? Yeah, king e6 and rook c7, c5, rook c6, king d7, rook b6, queen e2, rook d6, king e7, and soon is coming our swindle of the year, or his swindle of the year, is knight d5 check, king e f7. And when my friend played this move, I hollered a little bit. He played rook, he said, oh no, you got a finger drop, you should have gone rook f6 check. And here black would do quite well if black plays now here queen e d1 or queen e1 check, but black dropped the table here and the chairs and played king e6, okay, and here comes knight f4, and then played king e5, and it was knight e2, and I was saying, why didn't he take the knight? I didn't notice it was check. It was getting a bit late. Don't know what time it was, but it was 42 hours ago. King f5, and when we played knight f4, have a look at the time. We got it's basically we got 10%. We got 10% of black's time left. So black resigned. I couldn't believe it. The swindle was one thing, but then when black resigned, we just started cheering. It was like we just won the major game of the century. And so that's it for me from here. So you've had a 5-minute hand and brain. You've had a 1-minute bullet game. You've had a blindfold 5-minute game. And you've had this hand and brain game that was 5-minute. That ended up with the swindle of 2021. Thank you. All the best with your chess, no matter where it's at. And I hope you enjoyed that session. I certainly did. And call back anytime you hear. And that sort of thing. Now, I've been analysing, anyway, real quickly, I've been analysing, excuse me, the idea of taking this bishop. But then you have to be very quick moving the king to to stop the pawn from marching on. Okay, but there are better moves for black, of course, and for white, I mean. Okay, thank you. Bye for now. See you next time.